Breathe. And inhale. Oh, sorry. Okay, Sahej. Okay. So breathe and inhale. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev
Namo.
Om
Namo
Gurudev
Namo. Adgure Namah, Jigadgure Namah, Satgure Namah, Siri Gurudev Namah, Adgure Namah, Jigadgure Namah, Satgure Namah, Siri Gurudev
Namah.
Adgure Namah, Jigadgure Namah,
Long deep breath. Keep up heart breath. And now, as you all know, that Pope Francis has led for his death. Okay. And after that happened, as my regular situation when somebody dies, I do a call. And what happened, usually the person is either maybe upset or worried or something. He was pure, soft, so precious, so huge and loving. He was amazing. Okay. So would you all like to do that yourself? Let's do that now for 3 Akals. Oh, inhale. Akal. Breathe. Did anybody have that? Or anything?
I heard an echo while we were doing it. Is
Good.
that what you meant?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. God bless you. Okay, so now Japa Saraswati is going to let us know about, first of all, be sure to stay pure compassion and love. Okay. Good.
So
And
do you want me to post your email?
yeah, the chat.
Into the
Here
chat?
she goes.
Okay, this is part 1 of the email. Oh, wait a second.
And then she will talk.
Read it?
Yeah, please.
Okay, part 2 of the email. All right, so from Google, in Christian and related belief systems, Lucifer is a fallen angel, originally a powerful and beautiful being in heaven who rebelled against God and was cast out, becoming Satan. His story is one of pride, rebellion, and consequences of disobedience. Here's a more detailed look at the story. Lucifer's original state. Lucifer was originally a cherub of great beauty and power, residing in God's residence in heaven, according to the book of Isaiah. The fall. Lucifer's pride and ambition led him to desire to be equal to or even greater than God, resulting in a rebellion against divine authority, according to the book of Isaiah. This rebellion initiated a war in heaven where Lucifer and his followers were defeated and cast out of heaven, according to the book of Isaiah. Satan and the devil. After his fall, Lucifer became known as Satan or the devil, resembling the embodiment of evil and temptation, according to the book of Isaiah. So Lucifer's role. Lucifer is often depicted as the instigator of sin and evil in the world, influencing humanity through temptation and deceit, according to the book of Isaiah. Destiny. In Christian theologies, Lucifer is destined to face final judgment and eternal punishment in the lake of fire, according to the book of Isaiah. So a cherub, this is the definition, there was an asterisk, is defined as a winged angelic being described in biblical tradition as attending on God. It is represented in ancient Middle Eastern art as a lion, a bull with eagle's wings, a human face, regarded in traditional Christian. I'm sorry. Who is Siri Gian talking about? Chanting a call for?
What?
Oh, I was
The
reading
Pope.
another.
Mm.
I am lost in the chat because now I'm going up to find the cue from Baba Siri Chand. So copy this, paste this. Sahej, we were chanting a call for the deceased Pope.
Okay.
Oh, did I
everybody-
just send this to?
Yeah, just give it a little bit. Okay. Breathe. And now continue. Japa Saraswati with Baba Siri Chand.
Thank you. So our cue from Baba Siri Chand is now we are at the very cusp of the Aquarian age, which is the most great dark time. What does Baba Siri Chand say is the source of this great darkness? Why and when did this dark being end the evolution of humans, animals, and the whole planet? Why and when did this dark beginning end the evolution of humans, animals, and plants? I don't understand the dark beginning, Siri Gian.
Well, this
Like
was about Lucifer, evidently, was the beginning of darkness. Okay. And, you know, I'm not saying that's Christian way to talk about it, but it is just a way of that. And guess what? those names and those things, he told about all of those terrible things that Lucifer had done. And guess what? We have somebody in their body right now has all of that. So anyway, at this point, please let know Baba Siri Chand. So now, what is Baba Siri Chand to let us know about the source of the great darkness. Do you understand that? What?
Yes.
And then why and when did this start beginning with the evolution of humans, animals, and the whole planet? We to find out why this darkness has why we have that as humans. Do you understand that?
Okay.
Okay, good. Okay,
Are we going to do a minute of heart pumping first or no heart pumping today?
yes, definitely. Okay, so that's 1 minute for heart pumping, and then after that is about heart breath, and then we'll talk about us.
Okay.
Stay with meditation and begin with the heart pumping. Begin. Begin heart breath. And inhale. And exhale. Okay. Aagia Pal.
Yeah, wow. This was big, big, big. I so I felt Papa Francesco right with me, and almost, and so I mean, tears coming down, feeling this unbelievable, unusual love from him, like as if he was stroking my head. And so I asked him just to stay with me for this time and teach me and guide me. And so I went to Baba Siri Chand, and apparently the source of all this darkness is forgetfulness. And our forgetful, I'll talk to myself, my forgetfulness, and forgetting to remember from whom I have come, and why I am here, to be love, to be light, and so easy to forget. And also very difficult to forgive. So Earth School is teaching me how to forgiveness as well. And Soul said, I mean, Baba Siri Chand said that, a good part of this is that our culture treats the earth like a machine, and and it's being destroyed, and also that our culture treats we individuals kind of like as isolated consumers, right? And we are in constant competition with each other, and that's our culture. And so that is also at the source of these are the dark times. And when Siri Gian mentioned that it's getting worse, I tried to ignore that and say, oh, she's crazy, this is not going to happen. And it is happening. These are the end times. And then I was reminded by Baba Siri Chand that like Dr. Martin Luther King said, that he was trying to tell us that we are supposed to appear to be crazy at times, because we are to appear to be crazy in the face of an unjust, an insane system. And our work is the work of the artist. The artist thinks outside the box, and so to cross the boundary from this culture that we're in, to look at to do the work of the artist, which is also to rebel what Jesus did. He was crucified for sedition, right? So that he so we the idea of be the be artist, imagine, reimagine. Let's see, he also said reimagine the beauty that, and Papa Francesco is also is helping with this. And to do the work of the rebel. We all have to be willing to do the work of the rebel. And long time ago when I studied folk life, there was this character called the trickster, and the trickster was somebody who like shattered all the boundaries and just made a lot of trouble for everybody, and and so that's what, it could, be very dangerous for us. We could consider it, some would consider it foolhardy to do this work, but so what he says is now is it is necessary. And so that sends chills up my spine, because it really pulls me totally out of my comfort zone. So the work of the artist, the work of the rebel, the work of the trickster, to seem insane in the face of this crazy, unjust, insane world, and then at the same time to be loving, not to forget, because that's convenient. That's why we got into this mess in the first place. And then to remember, and to forgive, to forgive us. I've been working on forgiving myself, and for forgetting, for being one of these consumers that are in competition with, you name it. I was, that's the key word, part of it. But now we are called to become awake. We are called to wake up, listen to the prophets like Dr. Martin Luther King, and it's not, and Jesus. It's not fun work. It's work that we are souls. This responsibility. We're responsible now. And then this book I read when we were in French class, probably everybody can relate to this, The Little Prince. And the line in it, in French, it's tu es responsable de ta rose. We're responsible for, tu deviens responsable toujours pour ce que tu as apprivoisé. So we are always responsible for who we've tamed, which means, like our friends, we're responsible for ourselves, and we've forgotten that. And so now is the time. These are really the end times, and I've come to terms with that. So these apocalyptic times are times in which actually, I feel I don't have a choice anymore but to be responsible, to be a rebel, to act out, to listen. And now I feel Papa Francesco right here with me. So yeah, so I guess that's all I have to say right now. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay. So, Ved Bachan.
Satnam.
Satnam.
Very interesting what I was getting for this. So the first few things that were coming that I wrote down were darkness and light are two sides of the same coin. Everything casts a shadow. Dark is the great unknown, unseen, new beginning, womb, cocoon, pure potential, the end and the beginning. You cannot know or experience the infinite power of the light without feeling the depth of the dark. We are all in the womb of the mother, held in the womb of creation, in the darkness wrapped in light. So the image was like all of the beings being held in this, during this time, this dark womb, like a child in the womb is slowly forming all of the organs and cells, and like I saw it, like all of the beings that are connected to this great formation that is still in process, still in within the dark womb, but this outer like eminence and radiance of light holding the whole thing. But it's like during this period of being inside of the womb, we're not yet in the point of seeing and experiencing what it's like to be outside of it. So like basically I'm doing my best to explain it, but like surrendering to this phase of being held in darkness without answers, and surrendering in the field of it, and the yeah, all the discomfort, and yeah, it's hard for me to like put words to it, but I guess I'll stop there. I hope it makes sense.
Say it again.
I hope it makes sense.
Oh, yes, you do. Go ahead.
Okay.
You have some more?
It's hard for me to explain in words. I'm like, having a felt sense of it and like a visual, but yeah, it's kind of to me like a resting period of where anything is possible, pure potential in this dark, and through how we decide to nurture this time and this period, just like how a mother can nurture her time during the pregnancy through good foods, song, being held in nature, and really like trusting the cycles of and through her body. And as she's supported through community during this wild time of facing every day, not knowing what the message is going to be for the child or her body, but surrendering to that, she's held in a greater field of human beings and other beings that are supporting this great birthing. And so the message I got was like, yes, we are both like inside of the womb, getting ready for this birth, and also we are the light outside of the womb that is supporting and holding space for the process. So we are both, and that's, I think, the best I can do with describing what's coming.
That was good.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear.
You're welcome.
Okay. Gian Das Prem.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
So we're activators in light walking meditation. And we're spinning around with these people, with all of these people, with all of these beings, and we have the dark and the light and the stories. How many stories are there, right? Anyone doing, is in there, right? Thousands and thousands of stories that we can relate to, thousands and thousands of species that we can relate to, and then we have the human. And this morning, for me, it was the crow woke me up like a rooster. It was very, very early, before the time that I normally would start my practice. For me, is the way they look at us and the way that we look at each other and our interpretation, you know, of the information that we're giving. And love bounded by fear and attack of the separation of fear and the freedom to violence. And I think sometimes when I look at a line, they go about a certain way through there. And I've mentioned sort of softening. And the water was what I was really feeling today, of how the, bathing in that way of being, of having the water clean us, whether it's coming from the rain or from a source that we go to. And isn't it beautiful that, we have these examples for us, it's through the generations, which I believe that we do too. And it was the mother crow and the father hummingbird, um, the hummingbird, right, to not bruise. So, and they have just such that long beak, right? But they have a way of being a voice amongst the society, of a way of having that other vibration in there for a reminder. And I think giving back and that noticing of the reminder of the being straight up in our sincerity, near the light erases fright. And there's a double side to that, like the mirror, right? There's the top and below. I mean, we can go into the ways of, flat, round, square, and bound. We're all together in this string, and there's a weight of the energy and the proper use of the simplest form of that energy. Within the body lives a species ever changing, and truth and magic are our breath. Words are heard, kind of like how, a herd of buffalo or what have you, through the representations, there is a responsibility in the knowledge, and there's sort of a marriage going on there in the sharing, through the other examples of. And we can look at the clouds and how they work, and the releasing of the negative energy from within our body as sort of a sand, that we can see in our mucus. Once again, back to a theme that I've been, just coming to terms with, because we have so many lives inside of us. Yeah. And it's just looking to that, the funnel at the top and the funnel at the bottom, and sort of these swirling energies, the equator. So one's going to go at one direction and one's going to go at the other. And, truth is something that denies us all at some point. And for this past week, I think that we were all walking in Akal and expressing our Satnam, and we may have heard things from people that we expressly have deeply been around in our lives that are saying things that would sort of hurt our soul, but it's a noticing of the pain inside of them that's allowing us to feel that knowledge as deep. It can be painful sometimes, right? So that can bring us back to that dancing. And um, for me this week, it was taking old songs and new, things that I've been learning, and the music somehow it comes together. And it's this week it's they were brothers, I think, and they played guitars, and it was dream, 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 dream.
Oh,
So
yeah.
this week it comes out as Shreem Shreem, shreem, shreem. Because shreem is just a word I was told some years ago that if you just repeated it, it would naturally bring a smile to your face and would bring this way up. And the toning. So back to the toning and trying to bring the toning to parts of our bodies where it's softening and strengthening us at the same time through that, that way that we had being in that womb. Yeah, being able to be that double life, right? So if I have so many lives inside of my body now, and I was communicating in such a way, that freedom, yeah. So that freedom of letting the rules go, of letting the value of opportunity be totally opened up freely so that the value is shared equally. That we have that ability within our communication, within all of these writings, within all of these stories to come in and make those stories cohesively exist with the planet and all the other vibrations. We're not getting really attacked by lions that much anymore. I do see people sleeping on curbs that I get very concerned about when I go by because a lot of us aren't watching where we're going and we like to go really fast. And with all of these machines that we have, we can sometimes experience accidents and for us to be able to support and heal each other and to reach out that hand of walking in the light and coming forward back to that Satnam and that divinity circle. Yeah. And however the shape that we want it to be, I guess, but we will have these ways of expressions and convictions coming from mouths that will surprise us, but yet let's trust that way in our breathing that allows us to, go back to that place of dreaming that we can bring that dream out into the world and create from our truthful ways of knowing and the switching of these that our abilities approaching our wayward pain and the love that we all experience of, coming out of the mother and witnessing that and seeing the life go away and yeah, and back to that flower again of that Waheguru and just it's springtime now. So now is a really beautiful time for us to get outside and be together and see, the lives that are out there supplying us with we can help others along that are moving slower with us, through logistics. So yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity and bless the souls that are speaking through us through all of those lives and bubbles and yeah, why good.
Thank you so much. Bless you, dear. Okay, so Sahej. Sahej, are you there? Unmute. Please, there you are.
Yeah, sorry, I am in the middle of packing up things from Lawton's shop and getting fish to donate to some local soup kitchens. So it took me a second to get back. What I was hearing today about the lightness and the darkness and our response in these times, which can be scary and can be dangerous. Somebody, I think Aagia Pal spoke about the trickster character, and in Tlingit, thought, awareness, history, Raven is a trickster. Raven is also the creator. So I'll just leave that there for the moment. But the next thing I thought of was Heyoka, which is like a sacred clown, and also like a trickster. But how do I want to say this? So like the Heyoka does everything backwards and is similar to like the character of a court jester is sort of a similar character in that a court jester isn't just there for the amusement of the court. The court jester is the only one who can speak truthfully to the king and even make fun of the king and make fun of like whatever is going on in society that might be like those within it may not see, but from a broader view is really absurd, like hoarding wealth or whatever it is. And I've honestly always sort of thought of myself as Heyoka. And what I'm getting is this is a way, because, you know, of course, we're all feeling the danger. We are all feeling how dangerous these times are, being who we are. It feels scary, but like somehow thinking of it, if we're the Heyoka, they use humor to kind of point out the foibles of humanity, and that does two things. One is it allows us to be lighthearted in our pursuit of balance and the truth, and equilibrium in society. And it also allows people to see something from a place of kindness, or at least humor softens the blow. We can look at ourselves. It might still sting, but if we express an idea through humor, it's a gentler communication, I guess is the way I want to say that. And I looked it up just for the fun of it. This is because this is Heyoka. It's a Lakota phenomenon. So, and I'll just quickly read it. The Heyokas are seen as mirroring the truth and provoking introspection, acting as a catalyst for personal growth in others. So that's like a lovely job to have, and also to do it with humor, which can be a very loving way to communicate. Yeah, I think that's about what I've got today.
Mm-hmm. That's important. And also in New Mexico, they have Heyoke in the other ways of Indians. I've forgotten.
Oh, like maybe Hopi in their Kachinas, they have similar character.
Exactly.
Yep. I can't remember now what that Kachina is called, but yes.
Yes. Good. Okay. Thank you. Okay,
Thank you.
so now Harimandir.
I love the way Aagia Pal starts us off on so many of these calls. And one of the things that this is a time that when it is difficult or near impossible, I won't say impossible, to affect what's happening at the national level. It's a time for our own healing of our shadow sides and the remembering that we talked about last week too. Um, and as we deal with our shadows, the forgiveness of ourselves is so important. And we have this wonderful tool, Ho'oponopono, when something comes up and you remember a terrible thing you did in the past or a complete inappropriate action. The I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, works to soften the blow of remembering what we have done. And because we're all one, we've all done something that we have to forgive ourselves for. It's a softer way to get through it. Sahej and I live in Alaska, where our senior senator, Lisa Murkowski, has been quoted a lot on the news lately or on YouTube
Go ahead.
for saying fear, the fear that leaders are experiencing is because retaliation is real. And the retaliation that we've seen to immigrants and to people in Congress and to so many thousands and thousands of people working as well, maybe I don't remember who said it, but I guess it was Aagia Pal. We're responsible always for who we've tamed. It's a I had a connection to that, but I've forgotten what I was going to say on that. But that this is a time for inner work, because all the inner work that we do has a vibration that moves out into the greater world and does have an effect. And the other one was, again, the heartbreak that we feel when seeing what's happening in Gaza, for example, being denied of food, being denied of everything. The fact that we feel that heartbreak is so important, because that is our call that proves to each of us that we are living in that awareness, that seeing what's happening, and that awareness so it's a call to keep moving rather than going into a deep depression or hiding or whatever. So there you have the rebel and the Navajo and clowns. And anyway, that's it.
Well, good. Thank you so much. Okay. Japa Saraswati.
Satnam. So when I asked Baba where does the darkness come from, and he said it, the darkness comes from within. um,
Say it again.
the darkness comes from within.
Uh-huh.
That the darkness is in each of us, and then what he showed me was to embrace the darkness, and to really get, like last night I went out in the afternoon, and then I decided to go to a yoga class, and I got home kind of late, and my driveway light wasn't on, and I'm way out in the middle of nowhere, and I didn't want to park in the driveway because the workmen were coming today, so I parked like in the forest and then walked in this dark. And I remember uh kind of forcing myself to do that on the same area when I was a kid so that I wouldn't be afraid of the darkness. And I could feel it last night as I was then, walking in the dark forest at nighttime. But what I got next from Baba was to do shadow work and to really look into the darkness within, and basically just what Harimandir said. But like recently, somebody was talking about shadow work, and I really connected to the message that it's about um, looking at the darkest parts of ourselves, where we were manipulating, where we were lying, where we were using somebody else, where we were, just really unfair, where we were angry, where we were, and sending, um, sending really unconditional love to it. It's through this awareness that we are casting light. But what I kind of heard from Bubba was don't expect it to turn light just because you have cast light on it. Like what he kind of showed me is that this shadow work is going to stay in the shadows. And what he showed me was to get comfortable with the shadows. So now I'm in a different forest. I'm at an old growth forest right now. And it's wonderful. But when I'm here and I'm under the canopy, and also at my own house under the canopy, I really, really feel the interconnectedness of all of the mycelium and the tree roots and how those are all interconnected. And what I felt from this meditation was that um, not like it's going to be dark all the time, just like there's going to be, I think, increasing darkness at different times in ebbs and flows, and that it's why the forest can grow all of this mycelium is because it's in a darker climate. If it was in the sunshine all the time, it wouldn't be able to grow that. And I feel that that's part of us growing in interconnectedness, is growing in our darkness together and letting other senses take hold, like that we will necessarily, like when I'm in the forest, or not just in the forest, when I'm living up here in Maine for say like several weeks, my nose gets much more acute. Like I can smell the smell of a tree that was felled, so far away. I can smell the tree. I can smell all kinds of different things just from being out here. And I feel that that is part of the darkness, that our hearing is going to become better, and not necessarily our hearing with our actual auditory ears, but we'll get the messages. And also that this is the time for the third eye to open up, and that we will develop second sight through this shadow work of looking into the darkness. And then what I felt from Baba was the message about Kali and Shiva. So there are three meanings for Kali. And one is the goddess, the divine mother, who is a creator, but she's also a destroyer. So she looks like kind of fierce, like she's just got a bit of a reputation. But she is actually truly this loving creator. And then we've got Kali, who is a demon, who is a personification of sin and also promotes sinful acts. And so that um and um and that's a male entity as opposed to Kali the goddess, who is a female entity. And then we've got the Kali Yuga that we're in right now, which is like over 400,000 years, but it's known for, it's the darkest time. It's known for moral decline and conflict and just a lot of turmoil, and we are in it right now. Um, so you can see where Kali fits into this message of darkness. And then I also got Shiva, who is, this comes back to the darkness comes from within, but Shiva is an aspect of God, of Kali, Vishnu, and Shiva, the generator, organizer, and the deliverer or the destroyer, that these are each a facet of God, but insofar as God is basically all within us, this is what we create. So I guess my message was to keep on doing the shadow work, but to not expect to see a big change on the outside. It's not like we can do the shadow work and then poof, the situation changes. It's that we do the shadow work and that we keep on doing the shadow work, and that we will grow through the process of doing the shadow work. Oh, and also, so then I got to do the mantras, Om Namah Shivaya, and an Om Krim Kali Ma, which I'm sending a link to on the chat in case anybody wants to listen to it. That's my preferred version. And what I heard from Baba was to practice these mantras to get ourselves like on alignment with Shiva and Kali to help us embrace that shadow work. But also, I feel like there's going to be the turmoil of it. This is what I'm seeing from it, is that the turmoil is coming and that it's behaving, it's kind of moving like waves and also like tsunamis. And that if we can use these vibrations of Shiva and Kali, that it will help us to move with the wave more readily, like, because the waves are coming, so use the mantras to roll with it. I guess that was kind of my message.
Wonderful.
Yeah, thank you though. I mean, we've had such powerful messages today. I'm just blown away by the things that I've heard. I want to thank everybody. This has been spectacular.
Isn't it wonderful?
Hmm.
And it is so helpful for Baba Siri Chand, and it's great for all of this wonderful people to be able, like translator from Baba Siri Chand to each other and more.
Yeah.
Mhm. Very important. This is what's happening. It's also called the apocalypse. This is it. And also the age of Aquarius. And
Mhm.
this is the birth of this age Aquarian.
Mm.
Yeah, here we go. Frankly, uh, we have been doing this for more, I was saying, like the ages. the karmas and so on. But we have put here because for our own understanding through there, as you know, when we heal through all those terrible difficulties, when we go through all of that and move with our heart to healing, and as you have seen, that the healing becomes greater, just amazing. And so that's what we're doing, and that's what everybody is talking about, that in our birth in this Mother Earth. God bless all of you. Okay. So Sahej, are you there? Sahej?
I am.
Okay. Will you lead us for our song?
I will. Let's inhale
Mhm.
and exhale. And inhale to begin. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way. Guide your way on.
Inhale.
Guruji ka khalsa. Fateh, fateh.
Fateh. Oh, can you talk about the words for what you were just talking about?
Fateh? Or Guruji ka khalsa, that?
Yeah.
So Guruji ka khalsa, so like it's the what's it, salutation?
I am reading right now that it translates to the Khalsa belongs to God and the victory belongs to God.
Okay, thank you.
It's greeting and battle cry and way to celebrate the blessing and protection of God.
Waheguru ji ka khalsa. Waheguru ji ki fateh. Thank you. I'm like literally in the middle of packing stuff and trying to think at the same time. So thank you for looking it up and translating.
Okay.
That always made me so happy. I just want to say, and I'm in Lottie's shop and I feel him here with me, but like the first time we were at summer solstice and he heard someone called Ole Sonio, he turned around to me and he said, "What is that, Mama?"
That's
So
right.
anyway, yeah. And then he certainly took to it. Certainly